We're going live. We're going live.
Right.
Hey, wife. Hey. Hey, wife. Hey. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome, 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 welcome to the Wife Life. I am so excited. We are so excited, and we are the Wise. My name is Petra, and I am your queen of high ticket sales. And who do you have? Charity.
I'm Charity Nicole, your social selling siren.
Yes, and I'm Danielle Morrell, your online brand and business strategist.
And we are so excited that we're here today. What we're going to do, we're going to make sure that we share this right now, straight away. And then today is our pilot episode of the Wife Life. Now, today is super, super exciting because we're going to be sharing what the Wife Life is and why it's so significant right now in this space of entrepreneurship and business and womanhood and femininity and all of that good stuff. And we're going to share with you why it's relevant for you as a woman, for you as a wife. All right, so let's just go ahead and share this right quick.
Yes, ladies, we are really excited for our pilot episode. So we're just sharing this over. We'll be getting started. So as we're sharing this over, if you have any women who are, if you have any friends who are also looking to navigate family, marriage, motherhood, and business entrepreneurship, this is the thing, this is definitely the live stream that you want to share over so they can get to meet us. So this episode, we're running a little bit behind schedule. Normally we're going to be doing it at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. What do you call it? What's 6 p.m.? What's
6 p.m. GMT, Danielle. Yes, that's it.
So yes. That's one of the things we definitely that's so cool about this panel that we have together. We're all from different places. I mean, I won't say all over the world because Cherry and I are both on the East Coast, but Petra is in GMT time. So I'm going to let her explain where that is and where she is. And this episode is really just getting to talk about who we are, what this show is about, and just introduce you to the wife life concept. And I'm going to turn it over to Petra. She's in leopard. I'm in cheetah, just as you might notice. And Charity, me and her got the glitter background. So you're going to see our personalities come through. But go ahead, Petra. And tell them what GMT time is. Where you're at, lady. Tell them all about it.
GMT is in the UK. However, I am not in the UK at the moment. Myself and my husband, we have been living in Spain for quite some time now, okay? But we can talk about that later on. What I want to know, I can see that some of you are joining us live now, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to post Wife Life in the comments, type Wife Life in the comments and say hi. Let us know where you're watching from so that we can acknowledge you and just really thank you as well, because we do appreciate that you're joining us. We've literally started to share that, share what the wife life is. And today it's just for you to meet us. All right. So be sure to type in the wife life in the chat and let us know where you're actually watching from. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how we are actually all linked and how this really all started and why we feel really passionate about the wife. All right, now that the wife has an acronym. It's Women Intentional About Family and Entrepreneurship. All right, Women Intentional About Family and Entrepreneurship. And I'm going to share with you kind of how this kind of began and then how we kind of connected online. Okay, so pardon?
Sex post.
It's interesting because it was 2018 and I was online. I was always talking about the importance of marriage and money and business and everything. And then Danielle literally slid into my DM. Yes, she did. She slid into my DM and she says, Petra, we need to do something, we need to do something with women entrepreneurs. I don't know what, but we need to talk about it. And we said, something, yes, let's do something. And we got on, we started speaking the next day. And then we started realizing and started talking about what is happening now in entrepreneurship in terms of toxic femininity and what's happening with that. We started sharing how we are recognizing that there are so many women who are entrepreneurs, who are successful, but then they were finding it difficult to date, finding it difficult to actually get married. And then, Danielle, she really shared with me how there is actually a community and a group of men that are literally saying no to marriage, and that they literally do not want to be married to a woman. Well, even though, yes, I'm not saying that they didn't want to commit to anyone.
They will be,
yes.
They will have transactional encounters, but this investment that we, in generations prior into family, marriage, building legacy is, we're hearing a lot of conversation, the importance of that. And some people are feeling like it's losing its importance. The value that family once held, the traditional structure. And so, just through conversation, like we were all brought together, and I think that's what Petra was saying. So I wanted to kind of explain that, but go on, Petra, because I'm going to come back to all of this, like how this really brought us together and you're yeah, absolutely.
And this is it. So me and Danielle, we had that conversation, and that was early 2018. And then we didn't do anything with it. We didn't do anything with it. And then, oh my God, Charity wrote a post on her Facebook, okay? You know something? We need to copy that post and put it on the Wife Life business page, because it's super, super, it just completely blew my mind. And it helped me in my own marriage and in my own relationship and everything. And basically, Charity said, if you are not making love with your husband 3 to 4 times a week, your priorities are wrong. Okay, that's what she said. And that just hit me like, wow, she's absolutely right. Because me and my husband, we were so
mad.
Oh my God, people were so mad, Charity. Do you want to just talk about that? Because that was a whole nother ball game, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You say what you have to say about it, and then I'll talk about it. You go first.
I love the post because it was so controversial, but so brilliantly written at the same time. It hit me emotionally, because I remember, and the Wife Life, we're going to be open with you. We are going to be open. We're going to be sharing with you our business journeys, our relationship, our marriage, our kids. We're going to literally be open, all right? And when I saw Charity actually wrote that post that you should be having making love to your husband at least 3-4 times a week, I was like, yes, and I'm that person. I am that wife. I'm doing that. Yes, I'm doing that. But then I remember when there was a time where we wasn't making love 3-4 times a week, and sometimes it was once a week, sometimes every couple of weeks.
Right.
And that post reminded me of when me and my husband, we had a bit of a distance in our relationship, and that post kind of reminded me of when we had that distance, and how now, because we're making love often, how we're so much more closer and we're just more connected. And when I saw that post and I saw the comments, you had so much backlash from that, didn't you, Charity?
I
Do you
did.
want to just share?
I'm scrolling down trying to find the post so I can remember everything that went on. I'm almost there, but oh my gosh. So all right, so this is truth time, y'all. We just finished having sex, okay, in the afternoon, and it was like awesome because the baby was napping. We were like, this is great. And so I was in that afterglow, and I was like, just putting the status on Facebook, because me and Josh, we've been married now. We've been together. It'll be 10 years this month. And we've been married for 8 years this month. So we got married on a 2-year anniversary. And we went through a time period where we were separated. We went through horrible stuff in our marriage. And we're finally at this place where we're just like blissfully happy, like 90% of the time. You know, you're never going to be all the way happy all the time, but, and I was like, just happy. And I thought to myself, everybody needs more sex in their life with their spouse, you know, not like casual, meaningless sex, but that connecting intimacy. Like, what is better than that? I didn't expect anybody to get mad about it at all, because I thought to myself, who would be mad about more pleasure and me encouraging that, you know?
Right.
They were so
We did
mad.
that, and we're like already segmenting to what our next week's first, like this is just meet the wives, you know, what is the wife life, who are the wives, you know, but we're already showing you a preview of like, we're tackling this sex thing like head on next Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT time.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, we're kind of going on just like how we came about, but yeah, like we want this platform to also highlight, you know, how to strengthen your marriage, the intimacy, and not to let your business or whatever you're focused on, you know, be more of a priority or wear you out. You know, we're trying to give you some examples of how not to get worn out so you can still show up, because that's important, you know. And we all connected on that story because I saw from Petra.
We did connect because I
when
tagged
Petra
you.
commented, I was like, wait a second, because me too, I'm now in that same flow and frequency. I literally, you know, this is for next week. I don't even want to spoil it, but you know, it's been pretty consistent, you know. So I was like, that's me too. What I feel you ladies on that. So that's how we all like started coming back and like,
you know, let me just listen. Yeah, let me just spill the tea, okay? I tagged Danielle in that post, and Danielle, she went to a whole new level, and Danielle said that she makes love with her husband every single day for the last 18 months. Okay. Every single day for the last 18 months, right? And that was it. That is literally how we came together. Immediately, Danielle, she put me in a messenger group, and Charity in a group. Literally a few days later, we decided we were going to start this wife life. So do you want to just share exactly what the mission is of the wife life? What is it that we actually want to achieve, how we want to inspire, how we want to change, and what is it that it's going to be quite controversial too, isn't it?
Right. I mean, so I just want to really quickly shout out, we do have about 8 people on right now. So we're live streaming now on our fan page. So you just go to the wife.
Erica and
the wife
and Jonathan and Michelle.
Yeah. So that's so awesome. So you might be watching this now on Facebook, and you might be watching this later on YouTube, because we're going to definitely be putting all the live streams that we do. We're going to definitely move them to our YouTube and try to actually start, you know, live streaming over there. But, you know, and so this even came even more full circle. So I think, you know, to answer your question, Petra, the goal that we've all talked about, we've been in the making of this show, you know, this platform now for going on almost 2 months, you know, so definitely a month and a half. You know, we've been thinking and talking together every Sunday, you know, before we came here, because we came together on a common post. But I think it was no coincidence, because Petra and I were already having side conversations for over a year about what we saw, like what she said about, you know, what was happening with women having trouble, you know, maintaining positive relationships and also excelling in business. And we saw a lopsidedness going on in the market. We were observing and learning, and how we were trying to, you know, creating a lifestyle that we could honor our marriage and our relationships and also show up in our business. And so that was one thing. And then, like I said, Charity kind of was on the same wavelength. And then do we want to tell them like how we all came together as far as the first thing? Do we want to mention that? Like, is that significant? You know what I mean? The first one.
Yeah. I
mean, not only did we come together on this, but like, I say this to deepen the connection on why, like, I feel like we were brought together to bring this platform to life. It was just because, like, we've been in each other's circle. Indirect, like, it was Petra. I started working with Petra you know, with her branding, you know, when she was coming out in her business coaching. So I helped with her online brand. She's evolved fabulously. Like it's a night and day, but I'm loving this Petra right here. This Petra that's traveling. I mean, Petra is literally showing us on social media, on her Facebook, you know, what it's like to be a wife, a woman who is definitely intentional about her family and her business. Okay, because Petra about that money, honey. And if you don't learn nothing else about Petra, you're gonna learn today now about this money. We ain't playing. But and then, like, you know, Petra Charity was one of the first people that came into your area. So I really love this, you know, this divine legacy, really. And I honestly, that's one of the beautiful things about this space that we're creating and how we do business, because that, you know what I mean? We can help. We really have, each one of us have helped each other out in a way to elevate our life game. And so that's just, again, ladies, love you. I'm glad that we get to be the wives here.
Charity?
Yeah, go ahead, Charity.
Oh, me? Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, what am I talking about? How we met?
I know. I was kind of, when we were answering Petra's first question about, you know, what's the goal behind the platform. I just tied a nice story about how we got all even in this position from my point of view. But, you know, I'm going to let you just take it over on what you're, you know, what you're looking to bring to the platform and what you want the viewers to get from it, I guess, right, Petra?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So marriage is supremely important to me because, like I said, we went through that separation, and the cause of that separation, or at least one of the causes, was when I was in my previous business, which is direct sales. Oh my gosh, like all the women around me were getting divorced. Their marriages were falling apart. And even like people that weren't around me, I was seeing top earners' marriages fall apart and just watching all this. And I was like, this is horrible. People are getting obsessed with this business. They're getting obsessed with these goals, forgetting what the point of the goal was in the first place. I mean, it's like, what do you want to go to the top by yourself? Is that fulfilling? Is that fun? I mean, if you don't have someone who has your common values and who loves you to share this with, that's a pretty lonely life. Even if you have children, if you're not maintaining your marriage, you're going to feel some kind of lonely. You got married for a reason. You know, you didn't decide to stay single for the rest of your life. You got married for a reason. You invested in somebody. And it just breaks my heart that we have this culture where divorce is so prominent. And it breaks my heart that people don't value marriage anymore. When we got married, I didn't really even understand what I was committing to. Like I didn't even understand what marriage really was. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's talking about this anymore. People think marriage is just something you do, and it's not. It's a covenant, and it's special, and it gives you security. It gives you something that nothing else can. And I think it's sacred and invested in somebody. And in this business world, it's like people are just encouraged to get divorced almost, or people are just encouraged to leave your spouse behind if they're not keeping up with you, kind of thing.
And I definitely want to like just say on this, like, and I know like we're not perfect, and none of us for sure. We're going to be the first to tell you, this platform is for us to have a discussion, and we want you to join the discussion down in the comments, because we want to know what questions are, or what you want to talk about, or what's coming up for you. We're definitely by no, but we've learned a lot. And over the last month of talking about this consistently, I know that we've learned a lot, that we know that we've learned a lot, if that makes sense. So we're not perfect. Even me, like up to a year and a half ago, the marriage situation was not all, oh, we banging it out every day. No, it wasn't that, okay? It was like, what? Like, what am I doing wrong? I can't figure it out. What's going on? You know what I mean? And so I think what really brought me to this place where now I feel like I do have figured it out, and figured it out to me is like how to be able to show up in all these areas and don't feel exhausted, or don't feel like my bandwidth is about to bust. And I think what really led me to this place was the intention. I made an intention in 2017 going into 2018. I had the intention for wisdom. I said, you know, divine, universe, God, give me the wisdom to figure out what's going on, because I can't figure out why I'm making money in my business. I can't figure out why my marriage or my relationship feels strenuous or like stressful or on the brink of like what's going on. And through that wisdom and that intention. And that's why I feel like this again is like divine, the wife life, and the wife stands for like Petra and I both had the wife life, concept come to us at the same time in the same night. We couldn't even believe it. I literally looked, the Wife Life came up in my head. I started researching all this different, it was like wide open territory. And then the next morning, Petra said, I got it. It's the Wife Life. I was like, yes, you got it, girl. You, because we were both sent that little messenger in our sleep. So that's how I know you got it.
It was literally a divine assignment. And I love what Robin says here. Robin says, there's so much focus on ambition or costs. And if they are okay with your workaholic priority on your biz, then kick them to the curb. Robin, you're absolutely right. I remember I was on Facebook, and there was a woman, she multi-six-figure woman, and she had a picture. She took a selfie on her of her on an airplane, and she literally said in this post, she says, you know, my business, my husband didn't support me in my business, and now I'm going to this conference and I'm leaving my husband behind, and I'm looking forward to my future. When I've seen that post, I cried. I saw that post and I cried, and I'm thinking, what is going on? Why is it that people are breaking up their marriages for what? For this so-called entrepreneurship, this business? Like, why are they doing that? There are so many prominent women in this online space who are like seven-figure earners, getting divorced. And I said to myself, that will never be me. I said, there's no way that my marriage is going to be sacrificed because of money, because of business. No way, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to have one or the other. I decided and made it my intention to have all of it. Made my intention to have a wonderful marriage, a profitable business, a sensual, sexual, loving relationship with my husband, and knowing and understanding that we are together, death do us part. And with the Wife Life is going to be so significant, because we're going to be showing you how, as a woman, you can fulfill your dreams and, make elegant moves in your business so that you can keep your nuclear family together. Yes. It doesn't have to break. And something that we're really, really passionate about is that marriage and wealth goes together. Okay. Shall we just check out these comments?
Yes, they're getting good. Oh my gosh, ladies, I love it. Make sure, I know if you're on this page, you've already subscribed. I know you shared it with a friend who needs to hear this. Robin, I'm loving you. Y'all become top fans, okay? Yes, this is the pilot episode. We've been talking behind the scenes for weeks, but this is our first time doing it live and filling out each other's personality. You can already see we're in love with each other's personalities. I had this, because I know I'm in love with Charity's, and I'm like looking in this background. And but yes, we're getting some comments here. So Petra, because there's some good ones. So do you want to start?
There's some good ones. I love Kiara Butler. She's asked, can you guys discuss how you manifested your husband?
I think that's a whole episode, Kiara. Yeah. So this is the introduction, but I will promise you this, Kiara.
We will do that.
This show, and we will have that show coming to you, because I want to talk about it. I think it's very important for us to share that. So you will get a whole hour to that. Okay. But put on your calendar, Daniela, iceberg on that, because I already know that if I tip the iceberg on that, each one of us got a 20-minute story. So you know what I mean?
I definitely do. I think we probably all do.
So we're gonna totally pause on that one, but do know we will tag you specifically when that goes live, and make sure you have a VIP access to that when that one comes through. But let's also hit up Robin's, because I like hers. Wasn't a question, hers was a comment that I think we can touch on about it. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Which one? Oh, well, hang on. We've got Daniela. Daniela said,
or did you already say that one about Robin saying that?
Yeah, we already said that one.
Yeah, we said that one. We've got Daniela Rodi. She says, I've been blessed to be married to such a wonderful husband who believes me and supports me. Wonderful. Robin says, coaches are literally telling women to divorce if their husbands don't accept the fact that they are consumed with their business. We are not down with that. And can I just mention something on that? I've had discovery calls with women, and they have been open enough to share with me that things aren't going right in their marriage. I have literally says, you know something, go and work out that marriage and then come back to me.
Yeah.
All right. I've literally says that.
And I
Jasmine
think we're gonna have a whole episode on how things we've done in our business, because she does that. And I know that in my past, before I got really intentional about keeping my family intact at all costs, I did have some very feminist ways, and there's some toxic feminist ways, which it wasn't toxic but we'll explain it just later. But just on the fact that I used to say, you do it anyways. You know what I mean? Like, I used to advise things that probably would not promote healthy marriage when I think about it in hindsight. So one thing that we will need to talk about too, and we will talk about, is ways that we can help women get support of their spouses on their business decisions, how to set up and move within your life so that your husband feels confident saying yes, that you know what I mean? So we're going to have a whole show. That's something we're going to be talking about too, is how can you get your spouse to support you without having to do things, that would potentially harm, and knowing what that would be, for you, because everybody's relationship is definitely different. And we have to, we want to respect that, and we don't want to encourage, hey, look, what I can get away with in my marriage, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And it was even, you know what I mean? I've grown a lot from that too. So we'll be talking about that as well.
That's another thing though. This is all about personal growth. And I see a lot of people are like, well, I don't know if my husband will let me. I'm like, well, I don't know what that means, because your husband doesn't need to let you do anything. There's a balance between, your autonomy and you making agreements together. He's not in charge of you. You're not in charge of him. You're a partnership. But if your spouse doesn't trust you, you have to ask yourself, why? Have you made bad decisions in the past that we can turn around right now? This is about being a responsible woman and not being a feminist, like I do what I want to do no matter what, but a partnership. So you have that mutual trust. And that's what we're going to talk about.
Right.
Absolutely. Right. So, yeah, and that's the thing. And that's what we want to be sharing with you on The Wife Life, because we want to let women know, and this is The Wife Life, okay? Now, we know that we have pre-wives that are going to be watching. So pre-wife is those of you that haven't watched, that haven't been married yet, and that's completely fine. We're going to have all different kinds of women watching, but the majority of our audience is going to be women who have businesses or who want to start businesses and have families, children and children and husbands and everything. So we want to really reinvent how we operate as feminine leaders in this age where social media is so dominant, in this age where so many women's self-esteem is really, really low, in this age where women are putting money before their marriage. We want to help you to really see that you can actually create a holistic marriage and a holistic business, and you can create this, but it comes down to consciously creating it. All right. So every single episode of The Wife Life is going to be just giving you little insights into how we've been able to do it. Combined, we've been married over 30 years combined. All right. And we just want you to understand that as a wife, you're precious. As a wife, you are irreplaceable. As a wife, you can be and you should be irresistible to your husband. And as a wife, you should make money moves as well. And as a wife, you should be leaving you're able to leave a legacy for your children. So that is actually what we're calling for. We're calling for a collective of wives. Are you going to join us in this movement? Give me a yes, yes, and yes in the chat.
Yes.
Yes. It's a shift in the way we think about marriage, the way we think about entrepreneurship. It's a shift. You can have it all. Marriage and wealth goes together. You don't have to jeopardize, sacrifice anything. All right. I haven't got children at the moment right now, but some of these live streams, you're going to hear Charity, and who's got a beautiful son. You're going to hear Danielle talk about how she manages her children, how she cooks, cleans, and make love. She's going to be sharing that with
you
you.
have rest too. So that's what I'm talking about. And be well rested. Okay. I'm like well rested. And I, on that note, and I think we're going to, I don't know how much longer we want to go. We want to kind of, but one thing I want to say too is that we're going to have different opinions and points of view. So that's what's so cool about the WAP. Like, I don't want you even to expect, because that we're going to come on here and all be in unison at every point. But we're still growing. We're still open to hearing new perspectives. We want to hear your perspective. So this is an interactive show. You know what I mean? Yes. So even though we're like talking to each other, we're talking to you. We want you to talk back to us. So no, we want to hear. We would love to discuss different points of view. So that's open on the floor on that for sure. I definitely want to put that out there. So
absolutely,
you know what I'm saying? Like, we are on this journey together to really master ourselves and our marriage and our motherhood and our money and our mindset and our moves. I think we're really looking at personal growth and how can we take accountability for what we can do in our part to make sure that we are, really showing up in our life at the highest expression of ourselves. You know what I mean?
And staying married.
Yes, that is definitely the point. We're very intentional about that. But yeah.
Sorry, Charity, what was you saying?
I was just saying I love the whole personal accountability thing, because I think in this culture that's something that people are losing. Everybody wants to be a victim, and obviously we are victims sometimes, but that's the whole point. You want to stay a victim, or you want to be a victor. And a lot of these things are going to make people uncomfortable. And they might be mad at some of the things we say, but I think that's a good thing. If you feel inflamed by something one of us say, you have to ask yourself, why is this inflaming me? Maybe this is something I need to take a look at, and I could be upset right now, but they're right, probably. So maybe I should address this in my life if I want to have the best ideal life,
Right.
And I love the idea of future wives being on here and wives, because future wives need guidance. This culture is not giving nobody any guidance about how to not only stay married, but how to get married and manifest an amazing husband. So this is for all women who actually value marriage or want to learn how to value marriage.
Oh Absolutely. My God, that is, I love it. You know what we haven't done, wives? We haven't even introduced ourselves and told people what we do.
I know at the beginning we might have mentioned our name while we were trying to get it all situated. But why don't we do that, and then let's let everyone know about next week and make sure we go over the information on that so everybody knows where to join us. But go ahead, Petra. You start first. Introduce yourself.
So I'm Petra Foster, and I'm the queen of high ticket sales, and I help my clients to create high ticket group coaching programs and masterminds that sell between $3,000 and $10,000, and I help them to sell it on repeat. That's me.
Well, my name is Danielle Morrell. I am the founder of Rich Girl Business. I've been a full-time entrepreneur now, going on 5 years this April. So I feel like that's an accomplishment. Okay, thank you. I help service-based women entrepreneurs create a client-attractive brand and a business model where they get to work with fewer, more ideal clients who pay them premium so that they can work less and make more, which is something that's exactly why I'm so passionate about sharing what I know and helping other women figure this out, because that's what I love doing. I love helping women figure out how to replace their income or make what they would at a job in half the amount of time so they can have the time for family, friends, fun times, freedom, finances, all those F's. Facebook. Okay, Charity.
I'm Charity Nicole, your social selling siren and Insta Happy Rich gal. And I teach network marketers, direct sellers, and solopreneurs how to use Instagram mainly and social selling skills to get more friends, followers, funds, and freedom.
I love it. Oh, yeah. See, we're all about it. And I mean, I know Petra's really doing it right now because you told them that you're in. Did you tell them where you were? Can we tell them where you were? Like location, country. Did you tell them how you were vacationing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're
kind of Sorry. I was just saying that we just came to Spain on a vacation and we just stayed.
I know, I love that. That is like, yeah, I'm so gonna be doing that soon with kids. No, with kids, we'll get into all that in another episode. So anyhow, see how this is just, we could be here all day. But ladies, what we want you to do is definitely make sure if you just joining this live stream, somebody shared it and you hopped on, like our fan page, The Wife Life Official. Make sure that you like our page. Go check out thewife.life. Thewife.life. It'll take you to our YouTube channel. You definitely want to subscribe to that. What we're going to do is we're going to actually put this video over on YouTube. We're going to leave this here for now. We're going to be back next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT time to do our first like real talk. Like this was just, hey, let's just show them our faces and introduce ourselves. But next week, what is the title, Charity? Come on, it was inspired by you.
Making love to your man should be part of your business plan.
Yes, love it.
Making love to your man should be a part of your business plan. That's going to be episode 1.
We going
You don't
straight
wanna
in for
miss
it. Like, we've been wanting to talk about SEX for some time. We just been, because I think we're just so proud of ourselves that we are, you know, everybody's happy. Everybody happy.
It's taken a long time to get here. So it's like,
So be here next Sunday, 1 p.m. All right, wives. Well, this is great. We're gonna stay on. I'm just gonna stop this stream, and everybody will talk to you later. Bye.
thank y'all for coming.
Bye.
Okay, hold on, pause.